For the first time ever, we are now under what is called a Tier 1 water shortage imposed by the federal government this week due to decreasing levels of Colorado River water. News 4 Tucson's Chorus Nylander looks into who will feel the brunt of the impacts and what to do and expect moving forward in tonight's News 4 Tucson investigation.
Experts tell me everyone in the Southwest, particularly Arizona, will feel impacts one way or another, but for now, agriculture is seeing the most direct and apparent impacts. The first ever Tier 1 water shortage has just been declared. The impacts expected to affect Arizona more than anywhere else.
We know that this is a trend that's going to continue.
The Bureau of Reclamation declared the shortage Monday as it issued its latest outlook for the river for the next 24 months. That forecast showing that by the end of this year, Lake Mead, the huge reservoir near Las Vegas, which sustains Arizona, would reach a level of 1,066 feet above sea level. It hasn't seen a level that low since it began to fill after the completion of Hoover Dam in the 1930s.
People who have been studying climate change for decades are surprised at how quickly these impacts are coming.
Kathy Jacobs is an environmental expert with the University of Arizona Department of Environmental Sciences and has lived in Tucson 40 years. She says the shortage is due to climate change and is in line with heat waves and more frequent wildfires. The shortages, she expects, will only get worse.
Our water supplies will be more expensive in the future. There's no doubt about it. We will be asked to conserve more than we already have, and we've made huge progress.
A lot of them are going to be going back to groundwater, probably fallowing acreage, praying for rain.
Chris Udall, executive director of the Arizona Agribusiness and Water Council, says water rights are broken down by priority. The first to suffer the effects, he says, will be Pinal County farmers.
If we get beyond a Tier 2 shortage, which heaven forbid we do, then it starts tapping into folks outside of central Arizona, and eventually, if matters possibly get worse, it could even get into the tribes and the cities and others.
Without water, and there isn't food.
Tim Campbell is the director of land resources for Farmers Investment Co. and the Green Valley Pecan Company. To run a massive operation like this, he says, takes a lot of water, and they rely heavily on Colorado River water pumped through this giant filtration system. He says they won't be forced to make cuts due to the Tier 1 declaration yet, but have already been preparing for lower water levels, moving to a sprinkler system to conserve.
We all draw from the same aquifer. Mother Nature, no one knows what's going to happen next year.
The city of Tucson says it's not expecting cuts anytime soon.
The city has been planning and preparing for drought, for shortage on the Colorado River literally for decades.
It would be affected only in the final shortage tier as laid out by the Bureau of Reclamation. The city runs on a 100-year supply of water, and even as the population grows, it says usage is dropping.
So we've added 200,000 people in the last 30 years, but the amount of water that each person uses has gone down by about a third, and the net result is we use the same amount of water in total that we did back in the 1980s.
The Green Valley Pecan Company tells me the one saving grace they see right now has been the historic heavy rainfall we've been getting from the monsoon. Tim Campbell is hopeful that could slow down the rate of receding waters, but perhaps that's just delaying the inevitable. Investigating for you, Chorus Nylander, News 4 Tucson.